Happy Friday! Hi everyone! Welcome to day 10. Oh my god, I can't believe it. It's day 10. Oh wow, it was a long one. It was a value-packed, long 10 days, I must say. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, because I really had so much fun. And not only that, but I stretched myself so much. I've never done this 10 days in a row, and it was a challenge for me. I'm extremely happy that I did it. I had rough few days with all sorts of things going wrong, but I'm really happy that I did it. And now I feel like I can go on and on and on and on for many more days. So I guess that's what happens when you go past your comfort zone. So it's a wonderful feeling. As you hop on, tell me who you are, say hi so I can properly greet you. I will start right away. So today is day 10, and I'll be sharing my successful strategic action plan that normally I used to when I want to create longer and bigger events, things, challenges, and so on. And that's the way usually. Well, it's a combination of things, but that's the first part is that's how I start when I want to produce a content. So it's always with the intention, and we'll go through that, but it's always with a goal and with an intention. And I hope you did the exercises yesterday and you worked on your vision, because that's super important. I'll just recap today really quickly, but all 10 days, I hope you see how they're all connected. So each little piece, it's a piece from a puzzle that you can implement to successfully create visibility strategy that really works for you, and it's helping you to be consistent, because you're breaking through blocks as you move on. First you recognize them, break them, and then rewrite them. And also for you to create content that is really strategic, intentional, and will get you results. Because when it's intentional, close to what's your alignment, your branding, and so on, and your vision, most importantly, when it's in alignment with that, and it's consistent and strategic, and it has an intention and purpose behind, then you are going to reap results. Because if you're creating content, and that is, hey Spencer, that's what I've seen many people do, and I've done it in the past, absolutely. If you create content that is not strategic, then you're not going to get results. So most of the times you are going to feel overwhelmed. So in my work as a producer, we always start with the intention. So would it be the Earth Day, and then we want to create content around that with the intention to maximize on that wave of content that is happening on Earth Day, which is today, or Women's History Month, and then we are pulling content, or we're creating content. So it's always very strategic with an intention. And that's how you have a deadline, you have a goal, you have an intention, and you're strategically creating content. So during that time, if I'm producing a show on women, and it's for the Women's History Month, I'm not probably going to get distracted with things that are men's health, right? Or LGBT, that we will probably do the following month, not following month, but on a different time. So it's always strategic. So that's how you don't really get distracted, and that's how you get results, because you're maximizing on that wave that is happening for when you're producing content. The same thing over here. If you have the intention, and I'll share how I created this 10 days and how I created my challenge before, but in these 10 days, the group grew from when I started the first day of this good stuff. I've been feeling scattered in my topics, and I'm working on themes right now. Yes, Spencer, absolutely. I've never created Facebook posts, they say themes. I've never done this actually, but I think it's a great idea, and for videos as well. So yeah, I think it's a really good idea to find topics and to create content according to these topics. But yeah, I mean, I guess it's similar, and I've done it kind of subconsciously, but yeah. So it's a really good idea. It keeps you on track and you don't get distracted with other things until we finish that one thing. So, hey Laurel, thanks for being here. When I started the 10 days last Monday, the group was 517 people. Today, last I checked, is 717. I mean, it's right on the market. So the group grew 200 people, and that was one of my intentions with this particular 10 days, was to bring new people to the group. And my goal was 100 people, and actually we got 200. So it was always, so that always reminds me, dream bigger, bigger. So 100 was small, right? But I'm really happy that it did. I would have been happy with 100 too. It's not about the number. For me, it was more to attract new people to the group. Yes, Spencer, I did ads. So I run one ad, completely unsuccessful. I'm lost when it comes to ads. So I know I don't even know how to read the metrics, but Anne told me I did something wrong. Anita, she's a Facebook coach, so she's an expert. So I had, for 7 days, I ran the ad, and it did 1,500 people clicked and only 20 people opted. So it was not a success. My intention was to get people on my email list. I got a lot of people on my email list. I think over 30 people on my email list just from the replays. But from the ads, I don't believe people joined the group. It was mostly from Instagram and Twitter, and I think recommendations, maybe Facebook ads, but I'm not really sure how to even read the metrics. But it was very unsuccessful campaign. So it was my first one. Yeah, I mean, I had an intention, so that's yeah, I think so. So my intention was to grow to attract people that are closer to what I am willing to accept right now, because as an up level, I'm not available to work with people or certain, you know, my criteria has changed a lot. And before I was never understanding when coaches would talk about that, but now I truly, understand. And so now I'm available to work only with particular, I have a checklist of traits that a person have to meet. So I wanted to really attract people that have those traits, and really did happen. So I'm really happy about that. But my 10 days were done with a complete intention behind, and I'll share how I created this, and it's a combination of mindset and strategy. So I hope, you know, these 10 days you take it and you take whatever it works. But I always believe that when you set goals, the vision takes big role, but it's always mindset and strategy combination. And you know, you're a mindset coach, so both things are very important, and mindset being for me the most important. So to recap, yesterday, day 9, we talked about video goals, yes or no. I don't think, I think you need goals, but before you set goals, you absolutely need a vision for your life, vision for how you want, where you want to end up. Because if you're going, what was the saying? If you're going anywhere, if you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there. So it's absolutely important to have a map before you start going wherever you're going. And I've done it both ways, with map and without a map. And one is exhausting, and shiny object syndrome, and fear of missing out. And the other is strategic, intentional, harder. on one sense because you have to be focused, but on the other side it's more productive. So we talked about the way it's structured. For me, it's vision, goals, to-do list. So vision, once you set your vision, you reverse engineer and create your goals, and then you reverse engineer your goals to a to-do tasks, to-do list, weekly, daily, hourly, and so on. The other thing is to measure. So you have to measure and course correct and see what's working. Whatever it's working, rinse and repeat. Wherever it's not working, change it. So for example, Facebook ads, now I know next time what to change it, what it didn't work, and I know what it worked. So I know it worked, the image, the graphic, the text, everything, people clicked, right? But when they went on the website, that's where something didn't work. So because I didn't include text and I didn't make the marketing sexy on the website. So that is one thing that I'm not going to rinse repeat, but I'm going to course correct and change it. So that's what I mean by measure and course correct and so on. So then the next thing is work on mindset consistently, right? We need to tell our brain what we want and not what we don't want. Link pleasure, move away from pain, link pleasure to where you want to go and pain to where you are. Brain responds to pictures, so visualize, use visualization, and the brain does what's familiar and avoids unfamiliar. So if you are used to procrastinating, change that so the brain can start doing the more productive things that you're focusing on. And then of course act the part. So if you are the woman that you want to be already, would you act that? Would you do this task? And so on. So that's a recap from yesterday. And that is how normally I create my goals. And yesterday I shared my vision and then my tasks. And of course, sometimes I get distracted and I don't do things. Life happens. But once you know, you have that blueprint, you know how to go back. And you're not scratching your head thinking, okay, where was I and what should I do? So today we're talking about my system for successfully creating a strategic action plan that will take you from an intention to a dream outcome when it comes to video. So we need to stop creating videos that are with no system, no strategy, no plan, no step-by-step, no intention, and so on. We have to stop creating content like that because it's not getting us the results and it's a waste of time. So choosing the topics and the strategy that will make your ideal client feel as if you're reading their minds. So number one is setting the intention behind making your videos or your visibility strategy or an event, or what is it that you want. So for me it was, let's say I wanted to grow my group, right? Or attract my ideal ready to invest client, educate my client on the steps they need to take, or inspire my list to take an action, or deeply connect with my ideal clients. What is the intention behind the event that you want to do, the video that you want to create? Start with an intention, and it's usually good to use words like inspire, connect, something that it's an action. So do what? So you want to take them you want to make them take an action. We'll talk about this later, but the intention. So even on a replay, if you're watching now, what is the intention? What intention that you want with, for example, with your next live stream? What is it that you want to achieve? Or let's say you don't know what event to create, because now we'll go through that. How to know what kind of event and content to create, but what is an intention that you want to achieve without knowing what kind of a content you want to create, video or post, doesn't matter. Just let me know with one word or two words, a few words, what is the intention? To connect, to inspire, to empower, what is it? Number two, once you are clear on the intent, so for me, was to deeply connect with my ideal client. So for me was, well, that, and also to educate my clients on the steps they need to take. So for me, it was very important to educate and to also connect with my tribe and let them know a step-by-step process that they can follow so they can take the next step towards creating videos or start creating videos. That was my intention. So then I would start thinking, okay, what is the emotion? How would I want to make them feel? And I always remember a quote from Maya Angelou who said, people don't remember what you said, what you did, but they will remember how you made them feel. And I certainly remember the most memorable times were when there's an emotion connected. And other times I don't really remember. I mean, I remember even Tony Robbins, you know, he was giving an example and he was talking about September 11. Why do we remember? We don't remember September 11 on any other year, but we remember that year and that day. And we remember that time, what we did and where we were. So when an event is linked to an emotion, we remember. So that's why it's very important. How do you want to make them feel with your content? And you don't have to even know at this point what kind of a content. So you want to make them feel understood. That was for me. I want my tribe to feel that I understand them, that I've been there. Because I have an accent, because I didn't like my voice, but I found a way, and I invested in coaches. I have a mentorship, or at my when I started working at the TV station, I had a mentor who really, you know, took me under his arm and mentored me. So I did something to overcome that, to seek the help, but I also struggled with those things. So I wanted my tribe to know that I've done this as well. Or you want to make them feel as you're reading their mind, or you want to make them feel recognized, taken care of, empowered, receiving a royal treatment, feeling like a superstar. So what is it that you want to make them feel? Number three is actions that you want them to take. What action do you want them to take after they feel understood, inspired, taken care of, recognized, and so on? What kind of an action do you want them to take? So they can trust me. So for me it was, so they can trust me that I'm the only coach who can help them to get to their dream outcome despite the fears. Because I had those fears and I overcame them, embraced them and worked through them. Ask for help, or invest in your mini course, invest in your program, sign up for a challenge. So starting with the end in mind, it's really powerful because you know where you're going, you know what actions you want them to take afterwards. So while you're doing live stream or writing a post, having that in mind, it's really helpful. Or they can trust you, so they can give you their email address, right? Or they're ready to sign with you, even not now, but maybe later. So something that you want them to do, one thing, a concrete thing. And then I would go and I would write a statement. So I would just pick the first, the second, and the third outcome that came for me, right? So first I'll start with the intention. My intention is to deeply connect with my ideal client. And now comes the second, number two, the emotion, and make them feel understood. And then is the third one, so they can trust me that I'm the only coach who can help them to get to their dream outcome despite their fears. So that is one intention that I had, well, that's the only one intention that I had with the 10 days. And I'll share why I decided to have 10 days. But it doesn't have to be 10 days. That can be even a post when you're writing. That can be an email or a sequence or any content that you want to create. I would put it through that simple 3 steps, just because the intention is really important, and how you make people feel, it's absolute must, because strategies and everything is great, but people are the most important thing, and giving value and connecting and being there for people, that's what people remember. And I think knowing that and going back to this intention and rereading it, reminding yourself, it's really powerful. So then I'll go to number 4, which is the tools. So now you're deciding what kind of a content. So will it be a YouTube video? Will it be a 3-part video series? And that all depends on your intention again. Is it a 5-day challenge? Like this, 10 days challenge, or video sharing your personal story. If you wanna make them feel like you're reading their head, maybe, you know, it's a personal story, or connect deeper with them. Or it's a Facebook ad, video Facebook ad, depends. So, hey Suzanne, nice to see you here. So let me know if that resonates with you, and if that helps you, if you see that would probably help you to create your content, or you think, oh no, that's not how I do it. I would love to hear your side of things. So for me it was, so like I said, I wanted to connect with my tribe, and I wanted them to feel understood that I've been there. Hey Damaris, I've done that. Thanks for being here. I've done that. I had those fears. I you know, I have an accent, and I struggled with that. I didn't like my voice and all that. So for me, that was very important with the 10 days to share with my tribe that I've been there, I've done that, and I want to show you how I did it. And that is why I decided, and then the outcome for me it's to help them to see that I'm the only coach. Always join when I have time, because you're amazing. Oh, thank you, Damaris. Same here. I always join your lives because your content is golden, so always resonates with me. For me, the outcome, right, the action that I wanted people to take is, I'm the only coach who can help them get to their dream outcome despite their fears. That's why on each day, I gave you a chance to sign up with me. I offered 2 video tech makeovers. I offered 2 personal strategy sessions. Everything was gone, so I had to open 2 more personal strategy sessions. Those are gone. So then I decided to share a discovery course. So, but after each, and I'll share, you know, that's coming up, how to the call to action. But that comes from that intention. What do I want people to do next? I want them to see that I'm the only coach who can help them. So now the tools. Why I decided 10 days? Because I did 5 days challenge before. There was a lot of email writing and prizes, and then upselling to a group program and all that. So, right, a full-blown launch. Can't even pronounce that, but anyways, you know what I mean. I did not want to do that because I'm not selling really anything. I'm not upselling to a group program. I don't have a pitch today or any day except the freebies that I was giving you, the free sessions with me. So I didn't want to do a challenge. I didn't want to have to do emails and email people and so on. So when I started surveying, and we'll go into that, and see what people were struggling with, then I was going back and see what I was struggling before. The content was so much, and I didn't want to overwhelm people, but 5 days were not enough. So then I decided to do 10 days. That worked for me. That might not work for you. And also I wanted to challenge myself to see if I can do 10 days content in a row straight. So that worked really well. And I'm super proud of myself that I did it. So that's how I decided the 10 days. And for you might be something else, right? It can be just one video, YouTube video. I want to create this video. That's how I created one video for my discovery calls and one for my personal strategy sessions. I use the same tactic steps. So number 5 is fear. So now when you create all that and you write your intention and you for me, I said 10 days, right? Then all of a sudden fear kicks in. So for me it was, am I going to be able to keep up? It's 10 days at the same time every day. And I had to write the content, you know, I wanted to make it value-packed as possible. And not only that, but I wanted to make step by step because I think it's easier to follow and easier to learn. So right away the fear kicks in. And so once you create that statement and you start writing it, watch out, you know, what comes for you. So is it, who's gonna listen to me? I don't have time for 10 days event. I'm not sure I have all this equipment, the space to do it. I mean, I'm in my mom's place. I'm not even in my place because I was not able to go every day back and forth to do it in my place. So but that's when I started, and I'll show you how I worked through that fear, and then the decision came to me. I didn't even realize, although it's such an obvious thing, oh well, I can shoot in my mom's place, but I never really thought about that. So anyway, so what is the fear? Well, I'm not articulate enough. There's so many coaches who do what I do. Why would they come and listen to me? Why would they watch my channel? You know, anything that comes up, watch out for it. So then your statement now will become, including 4 and 5, would be, you know, my intention is to deeply connect with my ideal client and make them feel understood so they can trust me that I am the only coach who can help them to get to their dream outcome despite their fears. I will do that by creating 10 days live workshops in my group. My only fear is that I'm not sure how I can find the space and the time to do it every day at the same time for 10 days straight. So that's what I wrote before and what it came for me. And now I already gave you the tools and what I do before, right? So now with the space and with the time, I'll start digging deeper and see, you know, is it really that or is something else? So what is it really coming up? And you know, if you're working with a mindset coach, great. You know, those exactly things a mindset coach can help you with. Because you know they're sometimes deeply rooted in the subconscious. So if it's the space or find the time, that might not be the real reason. That might be something, oh, fear of failure. Am I going to be able to do it? So once you find out, you know, trace it where that comes from. And I gave you the tools before. I'm not going to go into that. I think from day 1 and 2. So trace that where that comes from and what is really the fear. Then I would write 10 things, at least, evidences. Oh, Grace, just a cover story. Yeah, it is just a cover story, yeah. That's what I thought when I did it. For me, you know, it was the space and, yeah. But probably deep inside was, you know, oh my gosh, who's going to listen to me for 10 days? So then I would start writing like evidence to why that is not true. So for example, even though there's so many, and start with the fear. Now that I didn't know that, but when I watched Mel Farr, she suggested to start with the fear. I never did that before. I always include it in my like my fear is this and this and this. But it's good, yeah, to start your 10 reasons with the fear. So even though there's so many coaches and I'm afraid that no one will listen to me for 10 days, or whatever the fear comes up, right? I have 20 plus years experience in the professional environment, film, TV, making videos, behind the camera, on camera. I received numerous awards for my work as an editor, host. I overcame my fears with my accent. So I'll start listing things. I have written film scripts, TV copy, even though English is not my first language. So I'll just list my achievements and everything that I've done to prove this wrong, to why, and give evidence really why I am going to be able to do 10 days. And yes, people are going to find value in the 10 days. And yes, people are going to listen, even if not always on the live, they are going to listen to what I have to say and share my experience. Then I'll go to number 8, which is the action steps. So I hope that resonates. Let me know. But those are things that we covered before, so that's why I don't want to go into details. So number 8 would be now the action steps. So that is where we spoke yesterday. It's the reverse engineering, right? Your goals. So what do you have to do? So the action steps. Step 7. Oh, yeah. So step 7 was the fear. Step 5 is the fear. What is the fear? Step 6 is trace it. Where does it come from? Number 7 is the 10 reasons why this is not true. Starting with the fear. Even though there's so many coaches, and then so and so and so. Number 8 is the action steps. No problem, Spencer. Number 8 is the action steps. So what do you have to do to achieve that? So for me was, I need to create a poll in my group. What are the best dates, times for them to attend the challenge? Poll for the name of the challenge. Create a different poll for the topics that they want me to cover. Run Facebook ads. Check my copy bank. I have a copy bank where I copy comments or things that come up for people for different fears, challenges related to video, and I copy and paste it in the copy bank. So I have words that when I write my posts, I use it from there. So I check my copy bank for the most common, like the top 5 fears. That's why I came. The content from last week was all created from my copy bank and from my survey. So then email, do Survey Monkey to my email list. Tell my VA to reuse the graphics from past challenges. So all these action steps, what do you have to do? Like anything, like a brain dump, right? Like anything that you can think of. Single out 20 results that my clients want, besides top 5 points, so anything, right? So now the whole statement will be something like, well, it doesn't have to be, it's not even a statement anymore, but it's like a blueprint, like an action. So my intention is to deeply connect with my ideal client and make them feel understood so they can trust me that I'm the only coach who can help them get to their dream outcome despite their fears. I will do that by creating 10 days live workshops in my group. My only fear is that there are so many coaches out there that do what I do, and who is going to listen to me for 10 days. However, no, even though I'm afraid that people might not join every 10 days, then here comes the 10 reasons why they would. I do have an experience and so on and so on. The steps that I need to take are, and then I'll list them. So I'll have this like a booklet I printed, and I'll have this and I'll constantly review, and that's how I created all the content for these 10 days. And just to go back a little bit, when I was talking about my action, what is the intention, right? So one was, yes, to deeply connect, but also I wanted to create to repurpose the 10 days because I'm selling on my website. I have 2 courses that are $27, and I wanted to create something that it's more like mid-level and something that helps with mindset, because when I do normally my group courses and one-on-one when I work with my clients, mindset is the first thing that we tackle. Why wait it till now, why not create a video, so on. So I wanted to have these 10 days to package it together, and to instead of explaining every single time, to also give that as a bonus and to give it. So for me, it was more like a passive, to repurpose it for a passive content, to a bonus material, to something, to a additional resource that can help my clients. So that was also the other reason. So it doesn't have to be only one intention, but it can be one intention that is more on the feelings, emotional side, but also can be something else too. Which, repurposing your content, I believe I repurposed every single group program that I did, every single thing that I done, I repurposed it, even my YouTube videos. So you have to always, thanks for the hearts, you have to always be very strategic. That's why I'm saying be strategic about creating content. Sometimes I'll debate which one should I, thanks Spencer, totally brilliant, yeah, which content, which video should I do, which topic, and then I say, okay, if I do this topic, I have 4 more videos on a similar, let's say, technique of framing, lighting, and I'm debating between, should I do about sound or should I do about the fear of getting on camera. So I'll say, you know what, if I do about the sound, I can package it to get together with these other 4 videos and sell it like a trip wire, and put it as a trip wire, or just have it as a bonus and package it and something like that. So that really helps me to be really strategic and not waste my time with topics that can wait and not urgent right now. Then you might want to create a 3-part video series that you are going to offer as a bonus, right? Okay, so you don't want to waste your time, you don't want to do pre-recorded videos, let's say, so you want to do going through that process. You can say, okay, I'll do 3 parts, 3 days video challenge on that topic, and then you package it together. This is so helpful. I'm working on developing a new challenge, and it has been hugely helpful to plan and strategize. Spencer, I'm so happy, yes, because the way you create the challenge, like my first challenge, the only one I did on the YouTube, now it's a freebie. So when somebody, it's not, they're really starting with YouTube, I would give them that as a freebie, and then if they need more support, then they can hire me. But that it's a really, the 5 days, I had so many resources, the emails, tutorials, all the live videos, I packed that together, and it's a freebie now. You can even sell it. I mean, I just decided to use a freebie because it's the basic optimization of YouTube. It just, again, it depends on the intention. So if you're one-on-one, it's high price, then you need a lot of things in between, right? Like lower price, so that might be a freebie, and then lower price. So it all depends. I mean, I'm not a business coach, so but that's what works for me. I just like to be very strategic with my content, and I don't like to waste a lot of time, and I like to use one video for many purposes and so on. So I'm really happy that it helps. Let me know if you have any questions, because that is the content. I didn't even write okay, and I took my notes, let me grab them. So I can recap really quickly the new people. I normally write in the end, for the recap, but I didn't do that today. So let me know if you have any questions, or you're not clear, even if it's on the past 10 days. So today we're talking about my system, how I create strategically my content. So there's an intention behind it, and that way you're strategic, you're not wasting your time, you're not wasting energy, and you're really thinking about other ways how you can use your content. And not only that, but that will get you results, and therefore you're not going to probably feel disappointed and overwhelmed, and then not want to create, demotivated, and not create again a content, right? So because you get a result. So the number one was to create an intention. What is the intention that you want? You don't have to know, how can I see all the videos? You're taking me down to, okay, so yes, so above is the link for the replay, Suzanne. So they're still in the group, however, they're hour each. So that's 10 hours of content. So to sign up for the replay, the link is above. It's luchiadragos.com /invisibility, dash invisibility. The link is above. Sign for the replays on Saturday, tomorrow. I'm sending the email with the link for everyone that signed up, and you are going to have in one page all 10 videos, and you're gonna have access forever, so you can watch them, take notes, and so on. And I might even include the text, although I have to get my proofreader to check it first because I have all the notes, so that might be helpful, while watching the video, or just to have it step by step, because everything is step by step. I just have to clean up the notes. However, I'm going to send the link on Saturday. I hope that helps. Let me know. So the first thing was the intention. You don't have to know what kind of a content you want to create. You want to know what intention. So for me, was the intention to connect with my tribe and to bring new people to the group that are in alignment with my with Luchia, that it's already 2.0 up level. I did sign up for, okay, Suzanne, yes. So I'm sending the email on Saturday, and if you don't receive it or something, let me know. So I just didn't want to send it now while all the videos are not there yet, but I'm sending it tomorrow. So that was my intention. And then I start thinking, what emotions do I want to convey? How I want to make them feel. So that's step 2. How do I want to make people feel? So it can be understood. For me, it was understood that they know that I know what they're going through, because I've been there. Because sometimes, people watch my live streams, but not always I share. If a live stream, it's on a lighting, I'm not going to share about my fears, right? So I wanted people to know that I've been there, I struggled with an accent, with my voice, and so on. So the third step then is the action. How you want them, what do you want them to do after that? So for me is to trust me that I'm the only coach who can help them get to their dream outcome despite their fears, because they would know already that I've been there, done that. So earn a trust as well. That was my outcome. Then you come to number 4. Now are the tools. How can I do that? Okay, is it 3-part video series that I'm gonna run? Hey Lori, nice to see you here. That I'm going to run Facebook ads for. What is my tool? Because video and posts and all that, those are tools. And if there's no intention behind, they're just tools that are not very useful. So when you get a fork, you know what your intention is, right? To eat something that cannot be eaten with a spoon. Hey Lori, so you are not going to eat soup with a fork. You are going to eat a steak or veg, something like that. So depending on your intention, you choose your tool. And I hope it's video, because video, I think must. Not I think, I'm sure it's must. So is it 5-day challenge? What is it now? What is exactly you want to do? Is it three-day challenge, 4-day challenge? Is it the challenge that it's not formal with emails and all that and prizes? Or it's just workshops, 10 days workshop? That was for me because it's longer, because I knew I can build that trust and deepen that understanding with my tribe for 10 days. And they'll have experience with me for 10 days. Not only that, I wanted to also challenge myself to know that 10 days is possible to do in a row. So then I would check number 5. I would check back with what fear comes up after you read that statement. So you build a statement from number 1, 2, 3, and 4. My intention is to deeply connect with my ideal client, so that's number 1, and make them feel understood, that's number 2, so they can trust me that I'm the only coach who can help them get to their dream outcome despite their fears, number 3. I will do that by creating 10 days live workshops, that's number 5. My only fear is that, so now number 6, number 5. What is the fear that comes up? So for me was, oh, I don't have the space. How am I going to be able to do 10 days? But then I start digging deeper, right? That now we come to that's still number 5. You start digging deeper because that is like Spencer said, cover story. That is not an actual fear. So the fear is, are people going to listen to me for 10 days? What am I going to share? Am I going to have enough knowledge, resources to share that for 10 days? So now that you know your fear, my only fear is that I'm not sure if I can deliver content for these 10 days and if someone will listen to me. And then you go to number 6. So now we trace it back. That's the tool we used in day 1, right? So trace it back where that comes from. Is it fear of failure? Is it sense of not worthiness? Check back with you and trace it. And number 7 then is reasons why this is not true. So even though, starting with the fear, so you do, even though I'm afraid that people are not going to listen to me and I don't have that knowledge, I've done things in the past that are even scarier. And then you start, I spoke on this event. For me, I have 20 plus years experience on camera, behind the camera. I've won so many awards as an editor, producer, videographer, host. I worked in a professional environment as a producer, as a film director. And then you start listing your accomplishments that are related to that, so you debunk that fear. And then number 8 is the action steps. So now once you're done with all that mental work, you start with action steps. So what is my action steps? So I need to create 10 days, right? So 10 days live workshops. What do I need to do? I'm not upselling to a group program. So I'm creating a poll to see what topics people want me to talk about. I'm creating poll to see which times, which days it's best for everyone. I run Facebook ads and all that. So you create now your goals, step by step, to-do list, like an itinerary. And that's for the whole event. If it's one video, then, okay, I need to get the lights, I need to clear that space for Saturday, I need to hire a babysitter or have my child in a daycare, something, whatever it's close to the event, related to what you want to do. But you see, deciding on the event, it's not even the first step, deciding on the content. And many times, people say, okay, I want to create a video. Okay, but why do you want to create video? Yes, okay, you can say I want to create video, but don't start with, I want to create 3-part video series. Check first the intention, so then you are not confused. Okay, I really want to create 3-part video series, but I believe challenge is better. However, I really want to create 3-part video series because this coach have done it and I saw it on a Facebook ad and it really worked and it's really great. Okay, But if that's not your intention, if that doesn't serve you, it doesn't come from you, you're probably not going to do a great job, because you're not going to feel inspired to do it, and you're just going to copy someone. So the intention behind check with you, is it to have new cash income, passive income? Is it like me, to grow the group? What is it? It doesn't have to be like someone else. So for example, thanks for the hearts, I saw a 3-part video series, I can't remember which coach did, and I really liked it. So I was like, you know what, and then that made me sign up for that course. It was a while ago, and I always wanted to create one 3-part video series. Thanks for the hearts. Guess what, I've never done it because I always do this test, and then I'm like, why would I do 3-part video series to get people on my email list? Because my cheat sheet really works very well and converts really well, because my ideal client needs that. They don't need 3-part video series, me telling them this and that, right? So doesn't really work for me. So I've never even created 3-part video series, although I really like it. And maybe down the road I will, but now no. So go through that test. So now your statement will be, and that is not a statement for me, it's a booklet. I carry this thing everywhere. I carry it to this day today, because that is how I flip and I see what I have to do. So it's, my intention is to deeply connect with my ideal client and make them feel understood, so they can trust me that I'm the only coach who can help them to get to their dream outcome despite their fears. I will do that by creating 10 days video live workshops in my group. My only fear is that I'm not sure how I'll be able to keep up with the pace and the content, and people will listen to me. Even though I'm afraid that people might not do that, then I start writing the steps. Even though I'm not sure if people will listen to me, I've done this in the past. I've been to a human trafficking convention where hundreds of people attended and I spoke, and people found valuable content. I did 5 days video challenge that people really took a lot of value from it. So you start listing from the past evidences. So the steps that I need to take are, and then you list all your to-do list. But that is how you do your to-do list for the event. And there's no single thing. I have my list. There are not even a lot of things that I had to do. I think there are like 10, 12 things. But all those things, and I've done this like a month ago, all those things that I had to do were very intentional. So every day I'll check, besides my other work that I have to do, I'll check, okay, today I'll start creating the Facebook ad. So I created the Facebook ad. Then tomorrow, okay, I see, okay, I gotta create a poll. Then I know. I'm not really thinking, okay, what should I create today? Because the 10 days are coming up, I'm not really ready, and so on. And once I lock down the topics, that's part of the to-do list, right? I lock down the topics, then I start, okay, what kind of action steps? How long did it take to prepare and plan? Okay, so I started this, I decided to do this a month ago. So minus 10 days, so 20 days I had to, but I wasn't really killing myself like I did with my challenge. My challenge, I decided and I did everything in 1 week, and I hated the process. 20 days I had to create the, since I decided, create the post, start creating the graphics. I wasn't really like rushing or anything. Creating the topics. I wasn't even working on the content for the first days. It was just all this behind the scenes work. Checking my copy bank, that kind of took me a lot of time, you know, the copy bank to see which topics are the most asked, then survey, that kind of took me, you know, days to summarize the content. So then once I had the topics, I think I had about 15 or 16 topics that I wanted to talk about. So then I said, okay, which ones I can combine, which ones I can eliminate, because I don't want to overwhelm people. But I knew I'm going to repurpose, and people are going to have replay link. So I knew, okay, they can take their time later on. And I knew that I wanted to include the notes as well, so they can have step by step. So I said, you know, I want to make it value packed, but I don't want to make it really overwhelming. So then I locked down 10 topics, and then I started, okay, which one should be first, which one should be second, third, and what will make really sense. Because, you know, it won't make sense for me to start with this content and then last they talk about fear. So I was and I switched it a lot of times, switching back and forth, and every time I'm on the playground. So I use Trello. That's like managing software, but you can type. So I would have day 1, 2, 3, the 10 days, and then every time I read a magazine or I'll take notes. But the other thing that I did is once I lock down the topics, then I'll go, okay, fear. Now I need to research on fear. And I really like statistics, you can tell. So I really started researching fear. I checked my old magazines of Success Magazine. And it's not stealing. I mean, I always give credit to the people, you know, that Marissa Purr, I think I'm mispronouncing her name, but Mel Robbins, you know, Tony Robbins, so all those things, you know, I didn't come up with these strategies. I only say that what works for me. So I'll just give, and actually, yeah, Lori sent me that video, and for Mel Robbins, right? That was her name. So that's how I was aware. She talked about, you know, the motivation and so on. So I'll look at the topic and I'll say, okay, what do I need to research and what do I know? And then started creating the topics. But when I start creating the content, it's not like I write down too, but for me it was more step by step. So I'll write step 1, step 2, step 3, and you know, it's switching back and forth and so on. But once I had my topics, then I started writing the steps and then filling out the content. So every day I'll have this content and I'll print it and I'll have my notes. I just follow the notes because it's a lot of things, it's a lot of steps, and I don't want to reverse things and change things and that don't make sense. So I have my notes and I'm reading and improvising and all that. But that's how I reverse engineer, especially big content like that takes a lot of time and energy. If you're not strategic, it's a waste of time and it gets nowhere. And like I shared before, for these 10 days, I got 200 people exactly to join the group more. So we started with 517 last Monday, the 10th, and today we have 617. So I was very intentional. That's what I wanted, and this is organic traffic from recommendations. My Facebook ads failed, like big flop, but so I didn't really get people from the Facebook ad. One ad I ran for 7 days. So, but I was very strategic because I don't want to waste my time. You know, Kira, since I had such a great organic growth with this. When were you writing the Drew people? Spencer, I didn't write posts for this event. I didn't really promote it. I had one promo post. I can share it with you. It was not really a promo post because I repurposed content. This was the text that I wrote. Well, I took some copy from my website, and then the text that I wrote was for the sign up page. Was it for the sign up page? Yes, for the replay page. I had all the text there for the replay page, for the sign up, so people they can opt in. I took that text as a promo. So I posted in Veronica's group 2 Thursdays, last Thursday and yesterday, and in the feminine affluent entrepreneur, I think Friday is the promo, so one Friday, but I don't think I got from there a lot of people. Every day I share on Instagram before 15 minutes, and I tweet. So that is the most that I did. And the Facebook ads run the week before the workshop start, but like I said, I don't think I got anyone from there. but might have some people. Although throughout this week, I think it's more recommendation. I didn't really talk about the workshop. I'm not streaming in my Facebook page, business page. I'm not streaming there too. I'm only doing it in the group. So I'm not really promoting that event a lot. Yeah. But also I did I wrote a belief that I want my group, my intention was 100 people to grow with. So I wrote my new belief, what women I want, the 100 women and so on. So I read it every morning, I visualize it, and then there you go. Every day it's like 20 people, 17 people, and like women that, coaches that's exactly how I wrote that I want. So that too. But I don't really promote it that much. So I really want to ask the women, how are they joining, where from? But I'm assuming, Instagram as well and Twitter. Yeah. So let me know if you have any more questions. This is for today. Again, if you are interested if you really struggle, you really want to create videos, but you're struggling with, the link is above, bit.ly, chat with Luchia. We can always hop on a call and see where you want to go, where you're right now, what are you really struggling with, and what do you really need help with, and to map out some strategy for you to follow in the future. The link is above. And of course, I'm just a PM away. There are a lot of exciting things happening today. Decided I wanted to do a mini group program. I'm finalizing the content based on this. So, but I'm not announcing it yet, or I'm pitching right now. And I'll probably create a poll in the group to get your opinion on that. So this is for today. It's been a wonderful experience, 10 days. I feel like I can go on and on and on with 10 more. But yeah, it was extremely challenging, and I'm really happy and proud of myself that I challenged myself to do that. So thank you so much for your time. I'm sending tomorrow the replay link. You are going to have it. If anything, PM me, ask me, and I'll see you in the group. Okay, bye for now. Bye.